Angela Dorothea Merkel was born on July 17, 1954, in Hamburg, West Germany, into a family that would soon relocate to East Germany, a move that significantly shaped her childhood and later worldview. Her father, Horst Kastner, was a Lutheran pastor originally from Berlin, and her mother, Herland Kastner, was a teacher of English and Latin. She grew up with two siblings, a brother named Marcus and a sister named Irene. The family's move to Templin in the Brandenburg region, within East Germany, occurred shortly after her birth, when her father accepted a pastoral position there. This unusual relocation from the west to the east, during the tense years of the Cold War, gave Merkel a unique upbringing in the German Democratic Republic, where she learned firsthand about the realities of life under a socialist regime. From an early age, she was known to be highly intelligent, curious, and disciplined. Unlike many children who found themselves restricted by the state, Angela excelled academically and showed an early aptitude for mathematics, languages, and science. She was a quiet child, shy in nature, but observant, cautious, and thoughtful, qualities that would later define her political persona. Growing up in East Germany was not without challenges. Daily life was structured by the limitations imposed by the socialist state, where freedom of speech and movement were severely restricted. Despite this environment, Angela Merkel distinguished herself at school, particularly in the natural sciences. She developed a strong passion for physics, which appealed to her logical and analytical mind. After completing her secondary education, she enrolled at the University of Leipzig in 1973, where she studied physics, a choice that reflected her love of precision and structure. She graduated in 1978 and pursued a doctorate in quantum chemistry at the Central Institute for Physical Chemistry of the Academy of Sciences in East Berlin, completing her PhD in 1986. During this period, Merkel worked as a researcher, publishing scientific papers and focusing her career entirely on the academic path, never appearing at the time to have political ambitions. Yet even during these years, her intellectual abilities and ability to work under pressure were apparent. She was fluent in Russian and English, languages she had mastered during her education, and she often used her linguistic skills to navigate East German life, where ties to the Soviet Union were unavoidable. Her struggles during her early life were not dramatic in the traditional sense but deeply rooted in the reality of East German existence. Living under surveillance from the Stasi, East Germany's notorious secret police, Merkel had to learn discretion and carefulness in her words and actions, which would later translate into her cautious and pragmatic style of leadership. She often kept her personal views private, blending into the system outwardly while quietly excelling in her work. Her marriage to fellow physicist Ulrich Merkel in 1977 was brief, ending in divorce in 1982, but she kept his surname, which she would carry throughout her life. After her divorce, she dedicated herself to her career and personal growth. In 1988, she married Joachim Sauer, a quantum chemist like herself, who remained a low-profile figure despite his wife's later rise to power. The life she built during these years was one of stability and quiet progress, far removed from the public eye. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a turning point in Merkel's life. Like many East Germans, she was swept into the tide of change that reshaped Germany and Europe. She quickly transitioned from being a scientist to entering politics, sensing the immense transformation that reunification would bring. Merkel joined the newly formed Democratic Awakening Party, which sought to shape East Germany's transition to democracy. When that party merged with the Christian Democratic Union (CDU), Merkel followed, beginning her long and influential career with the party that would eventually dominate her political life. She started as a deputy spokesperson in the first democratically elected East German government under Lothar de Maizière, a role that introduced her to the complexities of political life. Her intelligence and calm demeanor quickly caught the attention of senior figures within the CDU, and after German reunification in 1990, she was elected to the Bundestag, representing a constituency in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. Her rise in politics was steady and calculated. Chancellor Helmut Kohl, who had masterminded German reunification, recognized Merkel's potential and appointed her to ministerial positions, first as Minister for Women and Youth in 1991, and later as Minister for the Environment, Nature Conservation, and Nuclear Safety in 1994. Kohl famously referred to her as mein Mädchen, my girl, a nickname that reflected both his paternalistic approach and his belief in her loyalty and competence. Merkel, however, was not content to remain in the shadows. Following the CDU's defeat in 1998 and the subsequent financial scandal involving party donations, she distanced herself from Kohl, writing a bold editorial calling for the party to move beyond his leadership. This act of independence marked her emergence as a leader in her own right and established her reputation as a politician of principle. In 2000, Merkel became the first woman to lead the CDU, a significant milestone in German politics. Her leadership was initially questioned by many who underestimated her quiet style and lack of flamboyance. Yet Merkel's steady, pragmatic, and analytical approach proved effective. In 2005, she was elected Chancellor of Germany, becoming the first woman to hold the office. Her leadership over the next 16 years made her one of the most influential political figures in the world. She navigated Germany through a series of crises, from the global financial meltdown of 2008 to the Eurozone debt crisis, where her insistence on fiscal discipline shaped European policy. During the migration crisis of 2015, she adopted a controversial but principled stance, allowing over 1 million refugees, many from Syria, to enter Germany. Her declaration "Wir schaffen das, we can do this" became both a symbol of humanitarian leadership and a source of deep political debate. Merkel's tenure was also defined by her skill in balancing Germany's role within Europe and the wider world. She became known as the de facto leader of the European Union, guiding the continent through economic challenges, Brexit negotiations, and tensions with both Russia and the United States. At home, she maintained Germany's stability and economic strength, presiding over a period of growth that reinforced the nation's position as Europe's economic powerhouse. She was widely admired for her calm, rational, and scientific approach to leadership, a reflection of her academic background. Critics, however, argued that her cautiousness sometimes translated into a lack of vision, accusing her of managing rather than shaping Germany's future. By the time Merkel stepped down in 2021, she had become a symbol of resilience, pragmatism, and steady governance. She left office as one of the most respected leaders in the world, admired for her ability to remain calm under pressure and to make difficult decisions with reason and empathy. She avoided scandals, maintained a modest personal life, and remained dedicated to her work rather than personal gain. Her story is one of transformation, from a quiet scientist in East Germany to one of the most powerful women in global politics. Angela Merkel's life and career reflect not only her personal discipline and intelligence but also the story of modern Germany itself, a nation that rose from division to unity, guided for many years by her steady hand.